Hi guys, how are you? I wanted to say it's Friday, but it's not. I'm here again. I've got some great videos for you. We've now done this. I think this is our sixth, right around there. I love your comments. I love to know where you're from and so forth, but are there topics you want me to cover? I'm always here from you. I know there's lots of things going on my end. There's always lots of things. You should be working here. I've got about 15,000 projects we're working on, but still, I'm creating and doing movement lesson, but if it's not helping your personal situation, I would like your feedback, so let me know. We're going to be covering just 4 videos today, which is great. One of the things I need to do as well is probably tell you ahead of time of which ones to review, but the group isn't that big just yet as far as just, it is in the top priorities. So we're going to start off with Danielle. Right? Hi, thank you again for posting. It's always a pain when you post like right after the last Facebook Live and you're waiting, but so there's a lot of things going on, right? I did mention that if you feel that you have regression, anybody that has regression, I don't care what went on even just yesterday. If you feel for whatever reason, then you need to go talk to someone or see a doctor, or at least put in the appointment. 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks, 3 months from now, you don't feel you need it, that's fine, cancel it, but put it in. My son had severe regression at 13 months and regressed to less than a 3-month-old. So if you ever question your child's development, Facebook is great, but get it back up. I'm the first one to refer out to doctors, I really am. Movement is movement, but movement lesson is not penicillin, so it's just the way it is. You have an nystagmus going on in a strabismus. One of the things that's going on there is the weight of the head is not synchronized with the ability to move through the spine and the pelvis. So the pelvis wants to stay more stagnant to counter the weight of the head to keep the stability. This is what happens too when your vision is off, or there's complications in visions. Well, the best thing she has is her vision. So she's going to keep her head and everything just as stable as possible to keep the vision as stable as possible because she has unstable vision. Even with the nystagmus and so forth, I really hope you're working with a good ophthalmologist and a team. That includes patching. You've got to get those eyes stronger as much as possible. Really a daily vision program, because there's going to be times, just like when I'm tired, my eyes just don't work as well, nor do yours. And with a baby, they get tired more often and in and out of that. You really need to see where their vision is at. The head and the vision course is imperative, but you really have to do it so slow. My water bowl method, because the hydrocephalus, the one thing people don't realize with the brain is the only place that it can encapsulates death in a sense. So there's a part of the brain that's been damaged, we know that. Well, that part in a sense has died. So when the brain is living and moving and going into things versus the part that no longer is, and this has to do with a lot of cases that I have. So the movements need to be offered, but see, now you have the vision that's off. You have the strabismus and you've got the nystagmus. So it's that fine combination of just these really smooth movements that allow that vision to happen and come into play. That's the stability that your daughter needs, and it will be your best bang for your buck. It is more advanced case as far as applying and knowing where specifically to apply, but really rolling over comes with stable vision, and that's where you're getting the complications with that. She's trying to stabilize that. Imagine almost getting like a seasick when that's going on, and that's where you're seeing, I think, the regression in the crossing midline and the rolling. So next we have Kentucky. So the question is vision surgery or no surgery. I understand the pangs of surgery. Graham has had over 20 surgeries, 14 are alone just in his head. So I know, and surgery can't be taken lightly. Surgery is surgery. There are complications alone that, yes, can happen with surgery. However, when you have astigmatism like that, first of all, most ophthalmologists are not looking to do surgery. You can do your own survey around under 2 years of age. They're not looking to do so. But when you have both eyes that are really engaged to that, what they do is they release the muscle, not to perfect. So let's say the eye is going in here like this, right? And they'll release the muscle, and then the eye will come out. Well, I can control that pretty well. To maybe, let's say, about here. Then again, we're doing a patching program and vision therapy to see if then the brain, the cognitive neuromapping happens to bring that eye to central vision on its own. When it does not happen after, again, events of patching and such, then there's a chance they have to go in again. What a good ophthalmologist doesn't go for the first try. Because if they go too much, let's say, and now the eye goes out, they then can't correct that. And so what they do is, again, they do a release for a partial or almost close, and then they'll go for almost close again if there needs to be more than one surgeries. So parents really get a little gun shy over, oh, the doctor said my kid might need a couple of surgeries. This is why you actually have a very good doctor that's trying to take care of you in a way that your child deserves. And so that's what's going on. By the way, Hannah is here right now with me, so I'll work with her and give her some suggestions. The reasons we were doing all this is because we really have to encourage depth perception. That'll be the first things you work on. The reason I asked if there's still patching going on. When you're before surgery and after surgery, you want the eye to be as strong as possible. So do therapy all the way up, vision therapy, to the day of surgery and then the day after, if that's your decision. I'm not saying you need it. That's a decision you need to make between you and your doctor, right? I'm just here to tell you what are the pros and cons as far as that goes. Also, any of you can do this. If you cross your eyes really well and try and stand up, you're gonna need more support. That's where the arches and so forth don't drop out. People don't realize that the tension that's here also holds up your arches in below. So when the eyes are in, that lack of peripheral vision and so forth, we see it with older people too, when they can't swoop their eyes from side to side where it affects the feet. So I hope that helps. And like I said, I'll fill in Hannah right now. She'll be home tomorrow, and you can continue working with her as well. So the next little child we've got is Raya. Okay, I don't often say this. I've posted a couple of pictures in your post. I want you to see an ophthalmologist again as soon as possible. I actually would like you to see a neuro-ophthalmologist. I am very concerned with the starry-eyed look that's coming from behind. A lot of us hear cat's eyes. Cat's eye should not be that dominant, even in the crawling video. If you watch that video, you can see the sparkles the whole time. I really want your child checked for possibly cataracts or something else. And it also could be neurological as well. You need to be followed up, and I would say as soon as possible. I'm really concerned. I hope, like I said, everything's fine. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Also, in looking into that, you can clearly see, especially with the sparkles, of where the eye alignment is off. What I'm concerned with is the right orb is just off a bit, and so what's happening is the orb's coming back, but yet she's working so hard to concentrate to bring those eyes in, but it's the actual spacing. You'll see a midline here, but then the eyes just go out a bit. And this is why I'd like you to see a neuro-ophthalmologist. Probably would coordinate with a neurologist as well as a neuro-ophthalmologist to see what is going on in your cranium issues as well as possible ocular issues. And that needs to be done. That being said, with the movement lesson side, again, continue with your doctor. Movement lesson side, the head is too heavy, especially again when it's almost like when you have a headache, you feel that extra pressure, right? And that's what I'm concerned with, right? You really want to work with that. I have a really good course on head and vision that I can link below that will take you through also head and swallowing. My swallowing course covers a lot of the head work depending on where you might need developmental issues with. What it is that she's literally holding her head up with her eyes, and you could try this. You sink your head low and you lift your head with your eyes. right? And you'll see, I can't see my camera. I see like about 5 people standing behind me because everything kind of doubles. The structure of my eye is okay, right? But the structural alignment of my eyes is not. So if I'm like this, right, and I'm lifting my head up with my eyes, and then I go to see, my head drops again. And that's where you see, and so what that does now is it starts to really straighten up the spine, because you're getting a lot of these moves versus, see, if I do this and this, well, now I'm twisting and crossing midline. I would be working with the head weight first and then go after the spine and the pelvis as far as what those are related. But the reason you're not getting a pubic bone strike is literally the head is so heavy, it's like a seesaw. When you got the big guy on the one end, right, it's just lifting actually that bum up versus that bum being able to, that pubic bone come down to lift the head up. And that's where you're seeing those complications there, and that's what I would work on. Aiden, okay. You sent me a great video of your child walking away from us. I can tell you right now there's no peripheral vision, right? So, and then what I was sawing also is the pelvis is not crossing midline. So the 2 videos I really need from you, I want to see the vision, right? I want to be able to see how at 15 months it should be eye separation going from the head where you're getting the peripheral, and see, then that would have my pelvis tilt and so forth. So that's where you're seeing the wide legs and this kind of thing. So I have a feeling there's a stigmatism or strabismus that's going on, pulling the eye in, and then therefore it's putting the hips out. See, when the eyes go in, the hips do this, and when the eyes go out, the hips tucks the tailbone. So that's what I'm looking at with the movement. So those are the things that I would be looking at. And also the reason I wanted to get to, I want to see how he processes. I saw him get down, but I want to see him get up from the floor. And that's why I said, like, from crawling, kneeing up, and coming up, what does he do to organize his movement? So I can help you further, right? I'm about making your movement, your functional movement more productive, and working on that. And I just don't have enough information that's going to give you the bang for the buck. So there you have it. We've got a couple of videos. I'm actually going to throw Betsy on the table, down the table. I want to go over just a couple of light questions with the lasers, because I know some of you are interested. I was going to shut down sales of the laser this week. Why? Because I like to take care of you guys, right? We have a good group here. Well, in the lasers, it's something completely new for me. I have a new tool that I've used. I've really gone into the detail, all of my midline courses. You're getting information from me you've never had before. It is a very clear and concise way of working with your child. Again, a little bit different than what I do, but at the same time, it's what I always do. So it's tools that I use. However, due to the virus and everything like that, the reason Movement Lesson is what it is for continuity of your care. You're a parent, you have a right to help your child, and I want that to continue. For the years, I've offered videos because I get it. You might be working with the greatest therapist in the world. Me, number one. Okay, everybody else, but no, I'm kidding. And because of that, right, what if I were, unavailable or you can't get here? I get it. It's not about money. You can't fly here to get to me. This happens with people in your lives all over. You think you have the best doctor's appointment lined up. All of a sudden they're in surgery. They can't meet with you. I want the continuity of care. This is why I have thousands of videos over there. I'm doing the courses. I'm hearing your needs. I'm trying to package them up so it's helping you and your family. So I wanted to do the same with the lasers, which I'm still going to do. If you have the laser by April 1st, you get an 8-week private Facebook group with me. So I take you through it, make sure. I don't want anybody using this system and not feeling that they're just ready to go to help their family or help the people that they need to work with. However, because we now have the virus situations, a lot of people are on lockdown. Guess what? It's happening. You can't get to see maybe your therapist that you wanted to see due to the center being closed or for whatever reason, and the prevention that's going on. So I'm going to continue with the sales with the lasers. However, you need to have purchased it by April 1st to be in the group. If you've purchased this, let's say on April 15th, you'll be in the next group out. I'm not going to bring people in during it, but I would like to continue that. So I'm just going to have Betsy up here for just a little bit, just to answer some of your questions. I just need a chair too. Yep. We have RoboCop. Felipe's there with the RoboCop. So to answer some of your questions, how is my system different than other people? I really don't know. I have movement lesson. I've been doing movement lesson now for over a dozen years, and this is what I do. I found a tool that helps me touch better, or let's say differently, and also makes you feel more like you have hands like me. It gives you different guidance. So again, I've packaged it and offered to you into a system so you can do a step-by-step process to helping your child move better, right? But I didn't go out and compare a whole bunch of different systems and said, oh, this is what I'm going to do different than mine. It's still movement lesson. It's just movement lesson with the cold lasers. So one of the things that I found is, as you know, I believe in rotation. Well, there's an inner rotation. Most of you realize that they're here because you're not creating milestones that don't have the rotations. This particular laser that I'm working with promotes inner rotation. So right now I've been working with Betsy, and this is just her head. Her head is heavy, and that's where I feel. However, if I put the laser here, right, this allows me now to suddenly get under, and now she's just nice and light. So what it's doing, it stimulates ATP productions within the myosin actin within the cells. No, you don't have to know anatomy, but it gives me a way to have inner rotation, and I complement it with my outer rotation, which is movement lesson, right? So, but what's nice too is I really can get in here and actually bend her neck. If I take this away, let's say, there's first of all, I have to support her now. I can't get in there with the bend, right? I'm not playing with this. This is really, it's an on-off switch. I'm actually going to show you a YouTube video that shows how it does this to water. It's fascinating. You change the frequency, put the frequency on, the water is going to spiral out. Like I said, I'm going to post this down. So I'm going a bit fast, but Betsy's a salsa dancer. I can do these kind of movements with her, right? But it allows me, and it allows you, to get into places of movement that have been very frustrating. And this is where I call core movement integration, right? So when the laser's not here, it's very hard. Let's say if I wanted to work on her pelvis. Now I don't even have her propped and so forth, right? So her legs are long. But this, let's say, would be where I'd have to work with her. Now I'm capable of getting the movement. However, if I can just start doing this and see, and I can now get into her system into a way that's more advanced even for me, why wouldn't I offer this for you to, again, work in a way or get into areas to help your child? Again, you can do movement lessons just fine without it. That's not what I'm after. However, it's 130 videos. It's a phone for your app. It includes the whole midline suture course. I'm doing a whole new cranial program. This laser course offers information in there that nobody has seen before except for the people in this office. I'm really excited about it. I'm fine to take questions all day long about it, but I just wanted to cover things that I'm doing within my course, again, to benefit your family. And I really, I'm loving the reviews and comments that are coming in. Just this morning, Elizabetta just said it's the most comprehensive course she's ever seen for child development and helping. And again, the course helps everybody. It's not just your special child. Betsy is my big special child, you know what I mean? And she's benefiting right now, and that's how it works. So if you have any questions going on, Felipe? Felipe's like, you didn't tell me about this part.
You're good so far.
You're good.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough that you're coming in here. Please tell your friends about the group. As you can see, just the video reviews are just priceless. They're really important information. You know, I'm a little bit different. It's not about the activity. Remember, we're made for interior movement, right? This is what the laser's doing. Exterior mimicking for a child that's compromised is going to be very frustrating. Cognitive neural mapping does not happen by repetitive motions. Otherwise, if that was the case, I'd be playing for the Diamondbacks, and that is not happening. So let's continue to learn, ask great questions, post your videos, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.